Hey, what's up, Liam? Today's Friday, like the 2nd or 3rd November or something like that. Yeah, I had some more family come in. Aunt Renee and Samantha come visit and see you, visit us as well, which is awesome. Again, just an outpouring of support from friends and family. And Kaysen and I were even talking about this the other day. It's just like best case, worst case scenario. In that regard, and my heart goes out to people that go through stuff like this and they're legitimately alone. They don't have the love, support, and resources like we do. So yeah, best case, worst case scenario. So just trying to focus on things I can be grateful for. That's definitely one of them. But yeah, for today, kind of what, I just got back from the gym right now, and maybe just like a continuation of yesterday, that energy, not necessarily anger, but intensity, not power either, but I don't know how to describe it. But again, just kind of with the ebb and flow of everything, maybe this is just a swing the other way. But one thing that was kind of coming to mind today at the gym while I was sitting there was, I feel like I'm being called, or not regret grieving kind of and going through what I've been going through, but not regret, but anyway, like the thing that's coming to mind is suffer in silence. Like, what does it take to suffer in silence? Like, I feel like I'm doing these cathartic, posts of mommy, which is awesome. I'm not going to stop doing that because I love posting her photo and her smile. Like, it trips people out, but I do feel like some people, they get addicted to the emotions. I say some people, maybe myself, but I don't think I am like this. But I think there are some people that lean towards, they want to be sad and they want to be focused on the negative and they want to live in that space, right? Maybe even my neighbors' kids like that, not sure. But like, I'm getting some messages from people, and I'm not going to say anybody's name, but I'm getting some messages from people, and the energy or the way that I take it doesn't help me. It makes me angry. I'm like, God, dude, like, what the fuck? And then I get other messages from other people, and I'm like, oh, no, I appreciate that. It's like, it's coming from a place of like love and like strength versus like, oh, you're, like, poor you, like pity party shit. And again, maybe that's just depending on the time of the day, my mindset, where I'm at, but I want to be like, again, to distill all this back down to what's my why and what's my purpose. Like, those are some things I talked about in Mommy's eulogy, that she lived her life in a certain way that was so solid. And I also wanted, when I pass away, I want you to be able to say the same type of shit about me. Like, oh, my dad didn't, he handled it like a man. He didn't bring everybody down. And it's not that I feel like I'm bringing everybody down recently, because I know I'm walking this in strength, but also from a healthy perspective of grieving and working through the pain. But maybe I am bringing some people down, and that's kind of what I was kind of internally reflecting on today was, I'm not suffering in silence. Again, I'm not saying that this is what people should do. I also don't think a lot of people could suffer in silence, but I do feel like I am strong enough to do that. For how long, not sure. But I just don't want to bring people down. Like, I want to be the person that is solid, that people can lean on, regardless of what I'm going through. And maybe, that there's, again, to be just somebody that's reliable, to be an asset, to be dependable. And there's so much gnarly stuff going on around us that I don't want to be just another person that's, just an average person that just, again, I have all the excuses in the world, going through a bunch of shit. But, I just don't want to, one of like, with my why or my purpose, like, I think everybody's purpose on this earth is to love others and reduce suffering when possible. right? So if we want to distill everything down to that, like reduce suffering. So yes, I'm going through this traumatic life event, but am I contributing to suffering of others by my actions, things I'm sharing, or am I adding value? These are just some things I'm going to be more mindful and intentional and thoughtful about. And just check myself, because maybe I'm like letting my emotions kind of run a little bit too much, a little too hot. And again, I'm not saying that this is, right, wrong, indifferent, whatever, but yeah, so just kind of to just go back kind of to first principles, or what's the word I used earlier, to distill it down. Like, what's my purpose and my why? Obviously to love others, reduce suffering when possible, take the focus and the shift off of me and my feelings and me and because when I'm living in that space, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't benefit me. I don't like it. I don't feel empowered there. So why am I going to stay there? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think we just need to just pay attention to what our internal voices are telling us. And, that's kind of what it's telling me today. It's like, I need to listen to that. Like, what's the 10.0 version of myself? What's the direction I'm going? Where do I want to be in a year from now? Where I want to be in 10 years from now? Things like that. And again, just really, I think the next, again, just redefining my why, just reviewing it, making sure I'm crystal clear on it and understand like what it really is. Obviously, I have a greater purpose in you. That's a no-brainer. And just keep it dead ass simple, and just if I focus on that, maybe I'll have more empowered days, more strength days, and I'll be able to suffer in silence, and lift others up around me versus maybe dragging them down. And the world's got enough suffering, and I don't need to contribute to that. Because again, if we're just one collective consciousness, I need to be mindful of others more. Again, just shift the focus off of me. What was this quote I was just listening to? It was one of the Alan Watts things where it says the Buddha said that wisdom comes from the abandonment of selfish thoughts and desires, or something to that effect. What's a selfish thought and desire that I am having is when I wake up and mommy's not there. I mean, the depth of that soul-crushing feeling, and I saw somebody say something like they can't pick up the phone, like they instinctively, like, these habits are being broken, where it's like a habit or an expectation where I wake up and she's there, or pick up the phone and call, and you can't. It's like, it's like the depth of that is yeah, that's what I'm working through right now. Is coming to terms with that, is working through it, is growing from it. And again, I have a greater purpose in you. I love you for that. I love that God blessed me with you. I love that mommy never gave up on our dream, because that IVF stuff was so gnarly on her, man. Yeah, she never gave up, and I respect her, and I love her so much for that. She's so beautiful, inside and out. Like, her personality, character, and all that was more beautiful than her external, and she was fucking gorgeous, bro. In her spirit, you have that same shit, and God puts shit on our path for a reason. All of this is there's a lesson to be learned from this. I'm gonna grow through from this, and I just need to focus on that and shift the focus off of my pain and my suffering and onto my why. And if I do that, I'll be empowered, and I'll be able to uplift others around me. And that's what I want, right? Is I want to love love unconditionally, and reduce suffering when possible. And again, I think those are some of the words that we said about Mommy in her eulogy. So I want to live like Carrie, through thoughts, deeds, and actions. I love you, buddy.